Hello, surfers. Welcome to another edition of Surfing Your Edge Live with Christine Goad. I am Christine Goad, your Surfing Your Edge coach, and today I want to talk to you about changing your life. I know that there are some things you might want to change, and yet there are some really simple but very pervasive beliefs that might be holding you back from that. In fact, I found at least a list of 10. And actually, while I was making my list of 10, I came up with an 11th bonus. So you'll want to stay on all the way to the end to get that 11th bonus tip. But there are at least 11 variations of limiting beliefs that can be holding you back. And I've had this problem, my clients have had this problem, and I want to help you see which of these beliefs might be holding you back from getting the most out of your life and give you some little suggestions for tweaks you can make in how you think so that you can get out of your own way and get on with living the bigger, bolder, badass life you know you were born for. So how does that sound? All right, let's jump right in. I have a long list. I have no idea how long this is going to take to get through, but I am super excited about these. And here we go. The number one belief that might be holding you back is, who am I to ask for more? I'm grateful for what I have. I know a lot of women in particular think that if they ask for more than what they currently have, it means they're not grateful. It means they're not happy with what they already have. And in truth, the way to get more is to be happy with what you've already got, right? To love what is as you happily, excitedly look forward to what is still to come. So who am I to ask for more? The other thing, the belief that's behind this one is that I'm not worthy of more. And who am I to think that I am, right? A lot of times we don't want to stick out. We don't want to ask for more than the people around us are asking for. We don't want to look like we're being greedy. And yet your purpose on this planet is to fully step into your true full self. So whatever it takes for that to happen, for you to be as fully happy and as fully supported as you need to be in order to be your full true self, that's what you get to ask for. If it's in your mind or in your heart to ask for it, that's because it's yours and you get to ask for it and you get to start taking some steps toward it. In fact, you may not even have to do a whole lot. Once you decide that you deserve that thing, it might just magically show up because the universe wants you to be fully you and to have everything you need. So this might be the easiest one to solve. Just decide that, yes, I'm grateful for what I have, but there's more that would make me really, really feel like I was living the life I came here for. All right, so let's move on to number 2. Going for more might mean risking what I already have. This is a big one, right? It's like you've only got 2 hands and you're holding on to what you've got with both hands. And if you have to let go with one, you may not be able to hold on to what you already have. And this is super, super common. But again, you get to have everything that you want and need in this lifetime in order to fulfill your unique destiny. So going for more means either what you have will stay with you, or that what you have needs to be let go of so that what's even better can come in. The universe always wants you moving in a positive direction. It's never going to say, oh, well, if you want that, and then take away something that you're really enjoying, unless there's something much better coming your way. So that is number 2. And feel free to drop any little comments below. If you have any aha moments as we're going through this, please drop the word aha and tell me what the thought was. And you can also feel free to argue with me if you don't believe what I'm saying is true. I promise you, though, we have experience over in the Surfing Your Edge world that everything I'm saying here today is true. So we're moving on to number 3. I don't want to make anyone else feel bad. Again, this comes back to, I have certain people in my life and they may not understand what I'm going for, or if I try to make my life better, am I saying that their life isn't good enough because my life looks a lot like theirs. And if I start trying to improve mine, I might be making them feel bad about theirs. And again, this is one of those things. It's your saboteur voice popping in to say, let's stay right where we are because that's safe, right? Even if we don't know, even if we're unhappy, even if we know we don't have everything we want, even if we know we're not being our full selves, even if we're not being the person that we want to be in the world, our little saboteur voices or our gremlins like to pop up and tell us some little lie to keep us stuck and staying exactly where we are, because it doesn't care if you're unhappy. It just knows you're safe, and that's its job, is to keep you safe. So if people around you feel like you're judging them by wanting to make your life better, you can let them know, first of all, that that's not the case, right? You love them. What's making them happy is perfectly happy, perfectly fine, and you're not asking them to do anything different than they already are. You're just going after what makes you, your unique self, super happy and super fulfilled. What you do is not a judgment on anyone else. Let me know if you need any more clarification on that one. All right, moving on to number 4. I don't want to be laughed at. And then this comes back again to the people around me may not understand what I'm going for. This is super, super common. I have a lot of clients who feel like no one in their close inner circle thinks like they do, and no one else is going for the kind of life that they envision for themselves. And so they're worried, again, about not only alienating those people, but also being laughed at, and they don't feel they have the support they need in order to sustain the vision of going and the work of going for what they want. So in that case, you need to decide whether being fully you is more important than potentially letting some people slip out of your life because they can't grow with you. If people really love you, I think they're going to try to find a way to stick around and understand what it is you're going for, or at least to love you regardless of whether they understand you. I have several people in my life who I think just love me because I'm crazy me. They don't know what I'm doing, but they're just enjoying the ride along with me. So again, that is a place where you might need to find a community of people who are looking for the kinds of things in their lives that you're looking for: greater happiness, greater peace, greater fulfillment, feeling like you're able to actually put into the world the energy and the love and the creativity that you bring and only you bring. So if you're looking for that kind of group, let me know. I can probably point you in a good direction. And we are moving on to number 5. I am too old to start something new. I don't know about you, but I really feel like life got better at 40, and it's only getting better since then. And you are not too old. The skills that you have, they've decided recently, well, they've been doing research on this for a while, and for a long time they thought that your brain didn't completely finish developing until your early 20s. Now they've decided that it doesn't fully develop until your early 30s. So if you are over 30, that means your brain is like finally fully capable of looking at all of the possibilities and figuring out strategies and plans and what makes you happy. And if you're over 40 or 50, you've got experience to back that up. So you know how to do a lot more things than you might have known how to do earlier. You can also see shortcuts around things that you might not have seen before. And you have a community of people who you've built over the years who can help you find success. So if you're still on this planet, you are not too old to start something new. I plan to be here until I'm into my 90s or hopefully into my hundreds, and I am never going to stop doing new things. So I hope you'll join me and realize that if I'm still here, I've still got the ability to learn new things, to make new connections in my brain, and to find new joys and new little avenues to explore. All right, so that is the top 5. We have 5 more to go, and then there's that fun little bonus at the end. All right, if you would like to see the show notes, I'm going to go into each of these things in a tiny bit more detail in the show notes, and I would be happy to share those with you. If you drop the word notes in the comments, I promise I will send you the write-up of this show, and then you'll be able to have it for reference, and maybe even you could print it out and put it next to your desk and have something to look at and go, which of these beliefs is holding me back today, and what can I do to reverse that thought? All right, so let's move on to number 6. We just said we're too old to start something new. The opposite of that is I'm not ready yet and I don't know enough. This is a super, super common, prevalent one, and you can stay in learning mode for absolutely forever. You can jump from shiny thing to shiny thing going, oh, this is the way to do what I want to do. Oh no, this is the way to do what I want to do. And never actually make a decision and choose which strategy you want to follow or which path you want to follow or even which thing you want to do. So this is a hard one for me. I really love learning and I always want to know more, but the truth is, I'm looking ahead to see if I'm going to spoil any of the others if I say this. I don't think I will. So here's where we tell my favorite little story about a path is made by walking. If you've been with me a while, you've already heard this one, but I will repeat it because it is so good. This one does come up again in number 8. So I'm going to skip that for now. And we're just going to say, again, that if you're feeling like you're not ready yet, that is the little voice in your head trying to keep you safe and trying to keep you exactly where you are. There was another thought. Oh, and if you wait until you feel like you're ready, you've waited too long. You really that's the whole basis of surfing your edge, right? Is that you're out there right on the edge of what you currently know you can do, and you're just on the edge and just learning a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And you're out there kind of in an uncertain place and just kind of like in this tension of, am I going to fall? Am I going to fall? Or am I going to keep going? So not being ready yet is exactly where you should be. If you feel like you're ready, you should be doing something else because there's nothing left for you to learn here. So stay in the place of I'm not ready yet and just get moving. Ooh, I like that one. That one worked out really well. All right, here we go. We are moving on to number 7. Number 7 is, I don't know exactly what I want to do or be. And this one kept me stuck for a long, long time. It's like I only have 2 hands and I want to hold on to everything kind of thing again. The thought that I want to be a writer and I want to be a coach and I want to be an environmental activist and I want to be a baton twirler and I want to be a musician and I want to do. So that was part of my problem, that I wanted to be too many things. But there's also the whole idea behind that of, but if I only knew what my purpose was, I know which of those things I should focus on. And it took me a long time to come to the realization that our purpose on this planet is to be fully ourselves. That means whatever it takes to make us happy, whatever it takes to make us feel safe and fulfilled. Safe, I think, safe, secure on some level, although I don't necessarily believe that security is a real thing, but unless you're relying on yourself for it. In community. I'm going into rabbit holes. So our purpose on this planet is to be fully ourselves, whatever that means for you. And you don't have to know exactly what that is. You can just do the work that's in front of you with the best of your ability, with what you have in front of you. This is a Mother Teresa idea that you just do the work in front of you and you change the world. So if you don't have the words to wrap around what it is you do and who you are and what your purpose on this planet is, that's okay. Just go get started doing the thing in front of you that you feel called to do. And maybe the words will come, maybe they won't, but you will become more and more you and more fulfilled and grow into the role that you are on this planet to fill. Alrighty, now we get to number 8, where I get to tell that story. Number 8 is I can't afford to make mistakes. This one is so huge, especially for women. I think that women don't feel they're allowed to make mistakes. We need to do everything in public and perfectly. And we don't have the opportunity to understand that making mistakes is how we learn. And that in my mind, there is no such thing as a mistake. It's just an opportunity to learn something that you didn't know before. So if you're feeling like you can't afford to make mistakes, I want you to consider letting go of the idea that mistakes are possible, right? What if nothing is a mistake? What if everything unfolds exactly as it's meant to be? And this is the other one. This one goes into number 9. So I still can't say the thing I want to say. But I know for a long time that in my own life, I spent at least 10 years saying, I'm not going to make mistakes. I'm not going to spend money I don't need to spend. I'm not going to, again, put myself out there in a way that people will laugh at me until I figure out what it is that I'm doing. And then I can have good arguments for, to come back with. I just want you to consider the idea that there is no such thing as a mistake, that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, that you will always be exactly where you're supposed to be, and that everything that happens is for your greater good. Seriously, let's talk about that if you need to. Alrighty, we are moving on to number 9. And this one, I think I finally get to tell that story. Okay, I should be able to figure this out on my own because I am a smart woman or I am a smart guy and I help everyone else solve their problems. I keep the wheels on at work. I make sure that we get where we want to go on my team. Why can't I figure this out for myself? And if I can't figure it out on my own, there must be something wrong with me. And this again is a fallacy. It's your gremlin's way of keeping you safe. And also, it also comes down to comparison, right? In this case, you're comparing yourself not necessarily to other people, but to what you can do in other situations. You are not expected to be perfect in all areas of your life. And when it comes to seeing yourself clearly and seeing your life's goals clearly, you are not always the best person to do that. You come with lots of internal voices that are telling you stories. You have been programmed with ideas from a very young age about who you are and about how the world works. So you might be able to help someone else and see clearly who they are and how they can get from where they are to where they want to be. You may not be able to do that for yourself. I think pretty much every coach I know has a coach. I have a coach because it just helps to have another set of eyes on you and your life and whatever you're facing, and to just get some more unbiased feedback on who you are and what's in front of you. So if you are not able to figure out how to do this all on your own, you are not alone, and I would really recommend that you not try to do it all on your own, because it's a much lonelier road and it will take a lot longer than if you go find a group of like-minded people who are moving in a similar direction, and perhaps a coach who can help you make specific choices that are aligned with who you are and what you want out of life. All right, so now we are up to number 10. Number 10, it's not the right time, and I will do it when. I've heard this over and over and over again. I'll do it when the kids leave home. I'll do this when I retire. I'll do this when I'm able to get my house organized. Then I can think about, starting my business. There is never the right time. It never, ever, ever will show up and go. There will never be a sign that says, the right time, it's now, it's now, it's now, go. So the right time is now, wherever you are, whatever's going on. The right time to start is now. The other thing I want to say about this is that one of the reasons I started the Surfing Your Edge business is because I lost 3 friends in 1 year at the beginning of all of this, and they were all under the age of 50. They were all not ready to go, I don't believe. They all had other things still ahead of them, and I lost them way too early. So I don't want you to be one of those people who dies with your music inside, as I can see his face, I can't think of his name. Wayne Dyer says, don't die with your music inside. And I really don't want you to die with your music inside. The time to start is now, when things are messy, when you don't know what you're doing, but you just have a feeling and you just take one step at a time. So, can I finally tell the story? I should have told the story on number 9. So the story I should have told at some point during this conversation is the one about, I'm not ready. It's not the right time. I need to know it all before I can get started. Let me make sure what number the bonus one is. Okay. I need to know how to do all the things before I take a step. Right? That comes a lot of times, especially if you're like a project manager, all the steps that has to happen in order to get your project down the line and completed and meet your deadlines and all of that. But life doesn't always work like that. You may see where you are and where you want to go. You may have a couple of ideas for how to get closer to that, but you may not see every single step. And if you're a perfectionist or afraid of making mistakes in public, you're likely not willing to take any steps until you can see the whole plan laid out in front of you. And that's where I spent 10 years. 10 years thinking, learning, saying, I'm not ready, I don't know enough, it's not the right time. And finally, I saw somewhere, I think somewhere on the internet, the saying that a path is made by walking. And this one is the one that really changed everything for me. You can't do what you want to do until you make one step. And the way it works is you make one step in the direction you think you want to go. Then you look around and you say, okay, how does that feel? And what would feel good next? And you move in that direction. There's a saying that goes along with this, which is something along the lines of, God can't steer a parked car, right? If you're moving, the universe or God or whoever you believe in can help you move in the right direction. But if you're in park and you're sitting somewhere in a parking lot, you're not going to get and you're not going to be able to act on any of the nudges that you get. So remember this one: a path is made by walking. You walk, you take a step, you take another step, you take another step, and a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, maybe even just 2 weeks down the road, you look back and go, oh, look how far I've come. So that is a really big one for me, and it ties many of these together. And as you can tell, it's one that was central to my story. And I really, if I can save you some time, if I can help you get over just one belief, this is the one I would help you get over. It is the right time right now, regardless of what is happening in your life. Okay. And I promised that if you stayed all the way to the end, we are 25 minutes in, I promised that you would get an 11th bonus tip. So if you're ready, first of all, if you've liked the 10 tips before that I've given so far, the 10 beliefs that we've talked about so far, drop your favorite belief below and just let me know which one is the one that's really coming up for you. And now I will go ahead and move on to the last one, which is, I don't have the time or the energy to think about changing anything. This happens when you are living your life like most of us. You are keeping the world spinning for yourself and for probably many, many other people in your family or at work, and maybe even in your community. And you do not have time to think about anything else. You don't have energy to think about anything else. You just need to keep all the balls in the air, and you are doing the best you can, holding your breath and going as fast as you can, just trying to keep that going. And if that's you, you are not alone. That, again, is the way of the world these days. So I want to let you know that because we're talking about changing beliefs here, we're not necessarily talking about things that take a lot of work or things that take a lot of time. They might take consistent practice, but it might be a practice that takes 30 seconds, right? Or 3 minutes, 3 minutes a day to replace this negative thought that isn't serving us. It doesn't have to be a lot of work to shift the beliefs that are keeping you stuck. And when you start shifting the beliefs, that's when things start to happen. One of the things that just amazes my clients is that when they start to change the way they see the world, they start to experience the world in a new way, and things that they thought were out of their reach are just suddenly appearing. It can be that easy. So if you think you don't have enough time or energy, you're probably not wrong. But I just want to let you know that changing your life takes consistency, and it takes hope, and it takes commitment, and it probably takes a community, but it does not necessarily have to take a lot of time or energy. And once you start shifting these beliefs, you're going to feel more energy and feel like you have more time, and you're just going to want to keep going. All right. I think we've done it. I'm going to go ahead and hide this one, and I'm going to do a speedy recap. So if you were here with me from the very beginning, we started this list off with, oops, not that list. Alrighty, we started out with number 1, who am I to ask for more? I am grateful for what I have. Number 2, going for more might mean risking what I already have. 3, I don't want to make anyone else feel bad. Number 4, I don't want to be laughed at. 5, I'm too old to start something new. 6, I don't know enough and I'm not ready yet. That's most of us, which again is a good place to be. And then number 7, I could get off of here. Here we go. Number 7 is I don't know exactly what I want to do or be. Again, That's a big one. And so many of us are in the same boat. And even if we think we have an idea, that doesn't necessarily mean we're right. We're moving forward. We don't have a true sense of what's going to show up for us. We just are moving toward a sense of what we think will make us happy, and hopefully discovering all of the other things about who we are and what we love as we move. Number 8, I can't afford to make mistakes. Number 9, I should be able to figure this out on my own because I'm smart and I keep everyone else's world spinning. So why can't I do this for myself? Number 10, it is not the right time now and I will do it when. Remember, we don't want to put off the things that matter. We don't want to put off becoming the person we were meant to be on this planet. Don't leave before you're done. So please, 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 please consider number 11. Please consider that a path is made by walking and the time to start is now. Because the belief number 11, I don't have the time or the energy to think about changing anything, is again one of those false beliefs where it doesn't have to take a lot of time or a lot of energy to get massive results that you aren't expecting. They are probably just out of reach, and all it takes is a little tweak of a thought in order for you to find the way to get what it is you want and to be the person you want to be on this planet. All right, that is me. If you'd like the full description of what we talked about, I'm a writer first and foremost, so I'm going to write up some show notes for this. And because I'm a writer, I'm better with words when I'm writing than I am when I'm speaking. If you would like to see the write-up on this, let me know below. Just drop the word notes and I will send them over to you via Messenger. That is it for me. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I will see you next week. And until then, I am wishing you wonder. Bye.